Hi, I'm Lewis, and this is my fitness journey.
Hello and welcome to the first ever video on this channel basically. So basically just going to be a quick little insight into my kind of fitness journey for the past few years. And let's get it started. So initially just going to start off just by eating this bit of cereal. So if you've never had like Fuel 10k cereal, absolutely amazing to be fair. You get like 20 odd grams of protein and like 150 grams of cereal, probably about 500 calories as well, so a great little meal to start off the day. But yeah, I'm just going to start by eating this, and I'll catch you in a bit. So breakfast is now complete. Probably give it a good 7 out of 10 to be fair. Had my cereal, had a little bit of fruit on the side, but I've got to go run a couple of errands now. So we'll get that started and then we're going to start thinking about heading off to the gym. So we'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so just sitting down, having a bit of dinner now before I head off to the gym. Not really had that many calories though, which is a bit annoying. Just been doing a lot of stuff this morning anyway, so having probably the most university type meal I think I've had in a while. Literally some rice, some breaded chicken, and then a bit of reggae sauce, add a bit of flavour to it. So what we're doing, gonna head off, eating a bit of this, and then we're gonna start heading down towards the gym. So let's go. Boom. So right, okay, you join me at the gym now. We're gonna basically be training a push session today. Alright, so out of focus. Oop, there we go. So push session today. I'm gonna carry it on from 2 days ago push session. Got basically cut short early just because of the gym closing at 6, and I completely forgot basically. So I'm gonna aim to go in, train heavy incline press, heavy shoulders, maybe do some dumbbell press, like flat, and then hitting some triceps as well today. So we're going to go for some skull crushers, and then we're going to go for just tricep cables as well. But I'll give you a little bit of an insight when we're in the gym, and I'll let you know how it all goes.
2, 3, I don't know who else to be. 4, 5, 6, like they say I can't be fixed. 1, 2, 3, your attention's all I need. 4, 5, 6, don't let it slip. 1, 2, 3, I don't know who else to be. 4, 5.
So the gym is now complete, and you join me back at home, where I'm just going to talk about my fitness journey.
I cannot recommend this enough. If you are a skinny guy that's trying to put some size on, trying to build your strength, trying to get heavier lifts, anything like that, you've got to train legs. I never did, but you definitely have to train legs. But I'm just going to talk about kind of my journey throughout fitness really, and what I've been doing over the past few years. So I've always been a very, very like skinny lad. Always quite tall. Once kind of like probably got to about 15, 16, I started getting really tall, and that's when I started to keep even like thinner. Very skinny legs, just very skinny build basically. So the idea was that when I went to the gym was to try and build muscle, get bigger, so I just didn't look as skinny really. That worked in a sense, like I was definitely putting muscle on, but when I was training, I think before, I was mostly focused on what I was doing at the gym rather than what I was doing at home, and by that I mean I wasn't kind of eating the right things to build size. So I'll put in a few photos now when I had definition and I was looking like I had muscle, but the actual size of me, I didn't look big at all. Like say if I just put a top on or anything like that, you wouldn't really be able to tell that I'd even go to the gym at all, which is kind of like not what I wanted to be. I always wanted to put size on. Up until about, I think it was about the age of 19, I was 6'4" at this point. I'm not really growing any taller, but I couldn't even get to 12 stone. My target for myself was to get over 12 stone, and that's probably I think I was in second year of uni when I actually tipped over 12 stone. At this point I was going to the gym, not as much as when I first started. When I first started, I think I was probably going at least 5 times a week, sometimes 6, sometimes 7 times a week. But the training I used to do back in the day never involved any lower body at all. It was literally, I went in and trained chest. I think my split back in the day was chest and arms, and then back and shoulders. And there was meant to be a leg day thrown in there, but never was. I've not actually trained legs properly until this summer. This is the first time I've actually trained legs properly in my life, which is a bit ridiculous. At this point, when I was around 19, my training, I think, was probably about the same kind of aspect. I was training chest and arms, trying to get those looking bigger, trying to make my back look bigger, everything like that. But legs for me just never really happened. It was just always something I hated doing. I never enjoyed training legs. I just saw it as more of a chore rather than getting any enjoyment out of the exercise. And then I kind of stopped going to the gym, so I put on quite a bit of strength. Like, my strength in my upper body was quite good. I think I remember back in the day trying to bench 40 kilogram dumbbells. I think I got them for a set of 3 or something like that, and I was probably like 19 maybe. And was absolutely buzzing with this, and then stopped going to the gym. Just after that, kind of fell out of love with it really. Just, it didn't really excite me. It just kind of wasn't really there. Just never really did any kind of workout really, so that was it. Then exercise wise, I took up boxing. I think I might have been 20 at this point, I think, when I started boxing. So I'd done that for around about 6 or 7 months. At this point, I'd given up weights. Weights just weren't a thing for me anymore. I was training at this boxing gym probably 6 times a week, 5 times a week. We used to be training for like 2.5 hours most of the days. So at that point it was just cardio, like kind of fitness, rather than any kind of lifting weights. So the actual strength when I came back to the gym was terrible, to be fair. I was probably lifting what I could lift at about the age of 17, what I could do at the age of 20. So it wasn't really that great. I think I remember going back to the gym and I was bench pressing, I think 30s or 32s or something, I think it was. Which, when I went back to the gym, after I did the boxing, I then thought, well, this is just ridiculous. Like, I used to be able to bench, say, it wasn't 40s for many reps or many sets, I think it was just a one-off, but I could do a 40 kilogram dumbbell press, and now I can do 30s, and that was 2 years ago. So in my head, I'd kind of defeated myself already and just gave up with the gym. And that brings us kind of almost onto this year. So I'd stopped training, turned 21 at this point, still wasn't really training. This was in like December time. At this point I wasn't doing any home workouts, wasn't really even thinking of the gym, never really went to the gym before. It's probably been about a good 6 months or 7 months maybe since I'd actually done any exercise in terms of going somewhere and like actually wanting to train something. I hadn't done any. I was literally just at home doing nothing. Then it got to summer and everyone was doing the 5k runs. Me and my friends were doing this 25 press-up challenge, and it kind of got me excited to do exercise again. And every day I'd get up, go in the garage, and I'd do a workout. We didn't really have any weights, we just had a few kettlebells and a few other stuff. Like, I think we had one 25 kilogram plate, so I remember just like chest pressing that between my 2 hands and just doing loads of stuff like that, just trying to really get back into training weights again. And something good had happened-ish. Whilst I hadn't been training for say 9 months, I actually put on quite a little bit of weight. So I think before I was probably around about the 12 stone 1, 12 stone 2 mark, which for someone that's 6'4" isn't really that heavy at all. But I'm pretty sure I was around 13 stone come summer this year. So by not training, I'd actually put on size. I've always been an absolutely ridiculously hard gainer. Like, I used to sit there and eat 4,000 calories a day. I'd be eating nuts and raisins and everything, just cramming loads of stuff in. and it never really worked. But I think I was just doing so much exercise at the time, and my metabolism was just so high that it was just didn't really work for me. So it almost sounds weird, but taking, say, 9 months off actually benefited me in the long run, because it actually allowed me to put on a little bit of size that I hadn't been able to before whilst training. Now, some of you might have a different experience to this. Some of you might just limit the amount of times you're training or something like that. But for me, it was just, I just fell out of love with training. So summertime happened, gyms reopened, and I thought, this is it. I'm going to head back to the gym, and this is it. I'm going to start really training well, and I did. And I'm now just under 14 stone, which is, last time I weighed myself was 88.2 kilograms, if anybody wants to know in kilograms. So the actual weight that I've put on, I'm so happy with. Obviously I'm putting a bit of fat on as well. I'm getting a little bit chubbier. Not noticeably like you'd think, wow, this guy's fat, but obviously it comes almost part and parcel with it, isn't it, when you're really trying to bulk. Compared to my old previous self, when I was training ridiculously hard but eating well, I was so lean. Like, my body fat percentage must have been, probably about 8 or 9%. I was just literally, I had abs, stood up, sat down. It just didn't make a single difference. But yeah, at the minute, really happy with how training is going. Also really happy with how the diet is going. I'm pretty almost stuck to eating 4,000 calories a day. It obviously fluctuates a little bit, might be a little bit higher, might be just slightly under or something like that. But the routine that I'm in with work, I'm getting up at 5:30 every morning. So by the time I'm actually heading to work, I'm probably 500 calories in from my breakfast. I have a Mascani shake, which is another 400 calories. And then I'm having my actual lunch at 10:30. By the time I finish work at 2:30 and I'm heading home, I've already consumed around about 2,000 calories, which at 2:30 isn't that bad. I'll come home and have like another little snack, maybe if I'm hungry, like a little bit of a light meal, maybe get another 600 calories in from there. So that brings me around 3,000. And then by the time I've actually had a full-blown meal at the end of the day, we eat big in this family, which is quite good. So I'm probably, by the time I've had the meal, like final meal of the day, I'm sat at 4,000 calories already. If I have any snacks or do any, eat anything else, just nibble away at stuff, then it just always adds up a little bit. So eating at the minute is going really, really well for me, and I'm definitely happy with that. Protein that I'm actually taking in as well is really good. Like I mentioned at the start, I'm using this Fuel 10K cereal, 20 grams of protein, I'm pretty sure it was, for the 150 gram bowl size I'm having. This Mascani shake's got around 27, I think it is, grams of protein, some kind of chicken or meat in my sandwiches, and then at the end of the day, for that final meal, I'm always having something with meat in it, basically. So the amount of protein I'm actually getting is quite high at the minute, and I've definitely seen a huge increase in my strength from eating well, or eating more, shall I say. Like the amount I've been able to lift, obviously I'm going to keep being able to lift a little bit more and more and more. You'd expect anyway, the more I go to the gym. But obviously I think the way that I've been eating, the way I've been training, it's definitely been, it helped to accelerate each other. Well, I'll start putting up a few things in a later video about how I've kind of transformed this past 6 months, and how my body is, and how my actual training and the amount of weights that I could lift has totally changed, especially since starting legs. I could not recommend this enough. If you are a skinny guy that's trying to put some size on, trying to build your strength, trying to get heavier lifts, anything like that, you've got to train legs. I never did, but you definitely have to train legs. It's definitely something that I would recommend to everybody.
So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.